So let's total health and financial success. So I do want to make a distinction. It's important to achieve financial and material success in terms of not living paycheck to paycheck, being able to afford healthy food for your family, paying for your family's basic necessities, affording a good education, having enough money to travel. These are all reasons to attain financial and material success. I believe financial and material success is important, but not at any cost. Not at the cost of limiting the other dimensions of success listed above. So I'd encourage you to explore the other dimensions of success which can create total health. So balance creates harmony, and balance creates disharmony. And this is one of the things a lot of times when people start working with me as a health practitioner, whether it's personal training or nutrition or whatever service they're interested in, some of them actually quit their job and they get some job that's a better fit for them. And a lot of that has to do with they begin to realize that that job doesn't really serve them emotionally. And a lot of times they'll just find a better job that they work a little bit less and they're more fulfilled. And that's something I really encourage my clients to do. So total health, so what is total health? Total health is the pursuit of the 5 dimensions of success and to create balance and harmony within your life. It's the antithesis of the stereotypical specialist who's good at one thing but has no knowledge of the many. So by focusing on total health, a person will attain joy, fulfillment, happiness, and most importantly, the love of oneself. So we'll get started. So the physical health and physical success is the foundation and the platform that needs to be developed first in order for you to progress and evolve into the other areas. So it's the first dimension of physical success that allows a person to be successful in the other areas that we talked about. Okay, so quick summary. So begin to broaden your idea of success and include success in terms of the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, material. So that's my definition of total health. A lot of people will just talk about total health in terms of just the physical, and I think for me that's incomplete. Physical health and physical success is the foundation and platform that needs to be developed first in order for you to progress and evolve into the other areas. Okay, so let me take a question or two and then we'll move on. Does anybody have questions on the first segment? Anybody?
Yeah, I have a question. For instance, how long took you to decide to be a trainer?
Actually, yeah. So how long did it take for me to be a trainer? So I was on disability for 11 months. And I had a friend of mine that, really smart guy, he encouraged me to become or go into the health industry or start as a personal trainer and then move on to as a nutritionist. So it took me about 11 months. Initially I had a hard time with that from an ego perspective. When you work in banking, it's all about prestige and power and money. And initially, I was very hesitant because I just felt like, wow, that's such a step backwards. I spent all this money on studied econ at UCLA, and I just felt like it was a step backwards. But after really, thinking about it, I thought that was the best thing for me to move forward. But initially, I was pretty cautious, and it was just more of an ego trip thing that I had to get over. Yeah, so go ahead.
How did you heal your adrenals?
That took a while. So we'll talk a lot about that, but the adrenals, so initially I tried traditional medicine, and that was the absolute wrong route to go because they just pumped me up with antidepressants like Zoloft and Prozac, and they're like, you're just depressed. And for every drug that you take, you're going to get some kind of symptoms. And then after that, I started getting a variety of certifications and designations. I'm a certified nutritionist, and I'm also a functional diagnostic nutritionist. So in a lot of the research that I've done, and a lot of the colleagues that I've worked with, I've put together a protocol for myself based on lab testing, and I started to heal over time. And one of the things we'll go into a lot of detail, what a lot of people don't realize is when they have adrenal fatigue, a lot of that, most of the time it'll relate to the gut in some way or another, the gut and the liver. And that's kind of the key to addressing hormonal imbalances and adrenal fatigue where your body's not producing enough cortisol. So for you guys that don't know what adrenal fatigue is, adrenal fatigue, it's basically your body is not producing enough cortisol, so you have problems regulating your blood sugar and you feel lethargic. It's hard for you to get out of bed. You want to sleep a lot, and in the afternoon you just crash. And so basically your adrenal glands are, the production of cortisol is reduced over time because of internal and external stressors. So we'll talk about internal and external stressors, what is the cause, and then what's the solution.
So your adrenals are also tied into your hypoglycemia? Is that what?
Absolutely, because cortisol regulates blood sugar. So for instance, if you're not producing enough cortisol, let's say around 3 or 4 o'clock, you might start craving sugar because your body can't regulate its blood sugar because it has low cortisol levels. And so one of the ways around that is trying to eat every 2 to 3 hours to help with that. But part of that actually has to do with the adrenal glands not producing enough cortisol. So that's the connection with hypoglycemia, which is really common.
Can you heal it so you don't have to eat that every 2 and 3 hours? 'Cause that to me is a real hassle.
It is, yeah. I understand. Yeah, the problem is you'll probably have to eat every 3 hours because there's a variety of health reasons why that makes sense. But initially, as your body heals, you'll have to eat every 2 to 3 hours because your adrenal glands wouldn't be strong enough to maintain your blood sugar. So that's one of the solutions among many solutions to help your body start producing more cortisol. Yep.